What does the new patch name mean? A new patch is coming. Who is buffed? Who is nerfed? When is it coming out? Find out all those answers and more right now. Alright, so U Impact, which I imagine U is going to stand for Ultra. I know, Unite maybe? Could also be Unite, I guess, since Pokemon Unite, right? Ultimate could also be in there. Although I'm going to stick to my gut, and I think it's going to be Ultra Impact. So, new patch coming out, and I believe this is... I think they usually do their time in UTC, if I'm not mistaken. So, on the 18th, which is tomorrow, at 7 AM. So, when they say a patch is coming out, they mean a patch is coming out. Next time you guys probably gonna load up this game if you're not playing tonight. This patch may already actually be out in your region. Alright. Defense increase and special defense increase with Charizard. Okay. So just scaling his late game. 350 to 400 for his defense for that late game, then 268 to 320 for his late game. Bigger increase on his special defense. Kind of a hint on, like, you know, special attackers are doing a lot of damage right now, so compared to the early on in the game when there's a lot of physical attackers doing a lot of damage, now special attackers are doing just as much, so yeah, they're gonna have to increase some of those base stats. Alright, basic attack, no change on the burst flame, 100% increase on flamethrower, 100% increase on fire punch. I remember them like nerfing this pretty significantly a couple patches ago, which is kind of the reason why he was bad, right? I'm gonna have to pull up the patch where he got nerfed, where it was kind of like, oh, they gutted him. And it was something around these lines where that additional effect was nerfed dramatically. So seeing it increase 100% is, okay. Get ready to see Charizard in Worlds, right? Flamethrower damage, 10% increase, Flamethrower plus, 20% damage on the burn. So additional basic attack damage, Delta Burn was set lower for some moves. Yep, as we were just talking about earlier. Standardized to the higher damage value. Okay, so they're just kind of saying like, oh, just bringing him back to pre-nerfed Charizard. Because, like, everyone's so OP right now. So I guess I see where they're coming from, but I hope they didn't open up Pandora's box with that one. Also, we have late game increase for Gyarados. So, defense and special defense increase on Gyarados. Definitely, it's like Charizard too, right? Where we're focusing on that late game. 50 increase on the defense and 45 increase on the special defense. So he's still kind of squishy on the special defensive side. Bounce gets a longer shield duration. Okay, maybe people run that set more often now. Aqua Tail, 18% increase. Okay. Okay, that's pretty significant. That's nearly 1/5. That's pretty good. Base damage, Aqua Tail plus, 8% increase. Damage based on the opponent's missing HP, so percent base damage, which is only on his second hit, going up to 20%. So, an actual 5th. So yeah, that's going to be... You're definitely going to see that, especially if he hits you with 2 or 3 of those. Like, that's going to definitely melt a lot more of those tankier attackers. Durability, move performance for Gyarados has been improved, allowing Gyarados to overwhelm opponents more forcefully. In particular, the damage from Aqua Tail, which was previously lacking, has been significantly changed. This is weird. Allowing Gyarados to overwhelm opponents more forcefully. That sounds like a bad time, not gonna lie. It might be fun for the Gyarados, but I don't think it's gonna be fun for the person playing against Gyarados. And here is the big talk of the town. Ho-Oh. Big change. Fly is now safe with fire. Cooldown going from 8 seconds to 12 seconds now. Pretty significant. And now you shoot Mystical Fire of great intensity at the designated area, dealing damage to opposing Pokemon it hits, leaving them burned and unable to act. For a short time, the user flies high into the air, allowing it to move freely over walls and increasing its movement speed and attack. After this move is used, the user's next 3 basic attacks become boosted attacks. If this move is used again, while the user is flying, the user lands on the ground. There's a lot of videos already, and I'm probably going to have a video also dedicated to this new Ho-Oh right now, but yeah, I mean, it's going to be a lot more impressive during that early game, which it already was doing so much damage, and definitely welcoming for Ho-Oh to kind of be a proper defender instead of that like pseudo defender it kind of is currently. So fire spin damage 10% decrease, and the added effect of a emitted heat wave now makes opponents unable to act. So kind of putting it more in line to Delphox's fire spin, focusing on that unable to act kind of status putting on it. So yeah, again, really good for a defender to have some proper CC and make him kind of fit more in line to the other defenders in the game. So yeah, enabling a new fighting style that hinders opponents while strengthening Ho-Oh itself. Gotta love how the language they use on some of these buffs. Let's just hope it's balanced. Okay, so Gardevoir also seems to be a lot of talk around this one. Finally, some HP. Gardevoir needed this so badly. It was supposed to be the tankier version of a glass cannon, and it was so squishy. And yeah, significant increases on its defense and special defense for that late game. Finally gonna get some proper payoff from going all the way to Gardevoir. Psyshock got a special defense reduction, 25% to 30%. So almost to 1/3. Not too much, not too much. Shield amount 15% from Moonblast Plus. So yeah, definitely going to be able to survive some of those burst attacks now. I think that's exactly what it needed. Honestly, this might be perfect. Like, not too much on its moves, and just strictly around its bulkiness and survivability. Often struggle due to low durability, so Gardevoir's stats and the shield amount for Moonblast Plus have been improved. Additionally, the special defense reduction from Psyshock has been increased, allowing Gardevoir to deal more damage to opponents with high special defense. Let's go. I'm here for that. Alright, next we got Crustle. Again, look, all of these late game defense, special defense on all these Pokemon, and like again, a lot of them released rather early on in the game's life cycle. So like, if there was any evidence of power scaling in this game, this is it. Just notice how basically all of these early Pokemon that were released, yeah, like Ho-Oh doesn't even get that defense. All these early Pokemon released all get these flat increases for this late game to actually make them survive. There was definitely a problem going on with the new releases compared to the old releases, and I'm glad they like are addressing it. We're going to the worst defender of Unite. What they got for Slowbro? What can you do to this poor defender? So, late game HP increase, much needed. Movement speed decrease on self, 35% to 30%. Very minor. I can see that being good. Movement speed decrease on opponents, 25% to 30% for Surf. Yeah, make his Surf sucked. Worst Surf in the game, by the way. So it's not beating the allegations. Still not beating the allegations. Scald damage 10% increase. Scald's still gonna be the best set. Okay, I do say that. I do recognize that Surf can be used in use case scenarios, but Scald most of the time is, I feel, going to be his best set. Slowbro slightly lacking durability, hindrance effects, and damage. They agree. We read all the other descriptions. This is Pokemon Unite agreeing. He lacks in durability, hindrance, and damage. If you don't have those three, then what are you doing as a defender? What role are you playing on the team? Like, what are you doing? Oh, I got my Unite move? Yeah, get out of here. Make him easy to... Yeah. He needs a rework. We'll see. Still not beating the allegations. I'm gonna make a Slowbro tier at this point. Snorlax. Defense. Special defense. Yep. Tackle, 10% decrease. Oh, thank God. Heavy Slam, 20% decrease. Oh, his early game was so oppressive. He already has the Defender Supporter boost on having more damage on the wild Pokemon, so trying to secure like any wild Pokemon from a Snorlax was extremely hard. Hopefully this kind of handles that, and then obviously trading with them is going to be a lot easier. And then Flail, longer cooldown, 6.5 to 7, it's barely anything. His Snorlax's ability to deal high damage while hindering opponents exceeded expectations for a defender. Therefore, the damage of some moves have been reduced to better align with Snorlax's role. Okay, fair enough. Other hand, Snorlax's durability has been slightly increasing, reinforcing its defensive characteristics. See, reinforcing. It's like putting it down gently, you know? It's like, yeah, he's strong, but we want to make him stronger. This, he's lacking. Slightly lacking. That means you don't got it. It's either you got it or you don't got it. Slowbro, you don't got it. Okay, that's enough ragging on Slowbro for a video. Alcremie, nerf. Decorate, 8.5 second cooldown. Effect duration, 6 second to 4 second. 6 second is wild looking back at it, actually. That thing stayed on whoever you put it on forever. And it only had 8. Oh my lord. Okay. So now it's going to be like nearly double the time, over double the time of the duration the cooldown's going to be. And then 25% decrease on the shield amount. Good change. 12% decrease on Dazzling Gleam. We'll see if that's enough. Shield amount 70% to 60% for Fluffy Cream Supreme. Again, we'll see if that's enough. I think the healing might be too much as well. So these are kind of tame. There's a lot more aspects I feel you can nerf. I guess we'll see. Alcremie support capabilities, especially the ally strengthening performance of Decorate, were extremely high and difficult to counter. Impossible to counter. Don't worry, I can auto-correct that for you. The move's effect duration, shield amount, and cooldown have been adjusted, making it necessary to time shields on allies more carefully. Yeah, it was just blind. As soon as it's up, shield the ally. As soon as it's up, shield the ally. You only had a 2-second window. Now you're gonna have to use a little bit of your brain. Alright, let's go on to Serena. Triple Axle, 5% damage decrease. Interesting. And then Stomp, 10% damage increase. I want to see the reasoning. Unite move, Queen Descendant, damage, 8% decrease. So like, not like too game changing. They definitely want Serena to be played in a specific way, and that way is not how it is being played. I think that's what this kind of says. The performance of Triple Axle, which combines high mobility and damage, has been slightly reduced. In its place, its other move, Stomp, has been strengthened to broaden the range of move choices. Yeah, I'm leaning on like it was just being played in a specific way they didn't kind of like, I guess. I don't play much Serena, so I'm not the best guy to ask on why they would do that. They saw my Slowbro tier list. They brought Stomp back to where it was before. Oh, okay. Okay, so it looks like it's good, eh? Moonlight, 8 second to 8.5 second cooldown. That's barely anything. Unite move, Metronome, required energy, 11% increase. Clefable has maintained a high win rate, and the healing from Moonlight in particular was greatly increasing team survivability. The balance has been adjusted by slightly increasing the move's cooldown. I'm trying to wrap my brain around why they think 0.5 seconds. Like, it is a nerf, don't get me wrong. But like when they're kind of describing it like greatly increasing team survivability. You would think, with that kind of language, the nerf would be more than a 0.5 second increase, right? Like, am I missing something here? And this is kind of requires you to like farm 1 or 2 bumblebees now, and you'll still get as many metronomes as you would any game. This is nothing. I'm sorry, but this is kind of nothing. Okay, Garchomp, throw duration 1 second to 0.6 seconds. That's to put it in line with Mewtwo X, Mewtwo Y, and Psyduck from the previous nerf. They had their throw durations nerfed. Maybe he was supposed to be part of that, and they just kind of left it out for this. Earthquake, 10% damage decrease on Earthquake. Dragon Claw, 10% damage decrease. Wow, they can I nerf both sets? Okay. And then Bulldoze, damage 7 to 9% decrease. Why are they nerfing him so hard? The damage and hindrance effect of several moves were higher than anticipated. The overall offensive performance has been slightly reduced to adjust the balance. Huh. Nerfing Chomp will break in a couple months. Yeah, I thought he like just got into an acceptable position. Like, no one's banning Garchomp, right? That's pretty significant. That's honestly pretty significant to both his kits. Cinderace, Blaze Kick, 9 seconds to 9.5 seconds. Alright, Blaze Kick Plus, attack speed increase after use, 65% to 45%. Okay. That's good. He's one of the reasons why they increase Rayquaza's health, I swear. And they buff Rayquaza, and then Cinderace is just like, yeah, cool. I'm still gonna rip him just as fast. Maybe, just maybe, Cinderace's will not just rip Rayquaza as soon as it spawns. So sustained attacks following the significant attack speed increase from Blaze Kick were powerful. The move's cooldown and the attack speed increase have been slightly reduced to create opportunities for opponents to counterattack. Seeing Cinderace getting nerfed is going to discourage some ADC mains. Hey, maybe if that's what if this is what it takes for less people to lock in attacker every game and maybe like give them some more variety on who they're going to play, then I guess. Okay, so adjustments strictly for competitive. Balance, to create a balanced environment where greater variety of Pokemon can be active in tournaments, adjustments have been made centered on Pokemon with high usage rates in competitive play. Ability Sniper, max critical counters before evolving have been reduced. Okay, well this will be easy to see, right? That will be so interesting. Sobble only has 1. I mean, honestly, it kind of should have been like this the entire time. It's not even that easy to get all the way to 3 as Sobble, so like, I guess it's not too much of an issue. It just requires you to, yeah, this requires just like knowledge around the character. That's a really good change. Fell Stinger changed to be able to interrupt movement with a strong hindrance effect. Yes. This is like specifically to stop one-shots. Snipe Shot having a 5% damage decrease. Very, very intentional percentage right there. It's so low. But they definitely did some testing to get that number. Acrobatics. Why go the acrobatics set when Snipe Shot exists most of the time, right? Damage 15% increase, cooldown reduction for liquidation, 2 seconds to 40% of cooldown. Yeah, before you add any cooldown emblems. And then I think blue buff is probably going to affect that too. These are like the kind of buffs that most people want, I feel. Intelligence ability to KO wild Pokemon in the early game with the sniper ability was high. Yeah, so nerf the early game for Sniper, eh? Allowing Intelligence to secure while Pokemon KOs too consistently. The number of critical hit encounters for its pre-evolution has been adjusted. Also, the damage of Inteleon's main move, Snipe Shot, has been slightly reduced, while the performance of Acrobatics has been improved to increase the variety of fighting styles. Great. Psyshock, Psychic Area Effect, 2 meters to 1.7 meter radius. And Surf has a time until the second stage can be used, 0.4 to 0.6. Right, with the waves activate. What are you trying to do? Make Slowbro Surf better? Ain't gonna do it, it's not enough. Area effect of Slice Shock was large and often difficult to avoid, so the move's range has been reduced. The time until surf can be reused, and has been adjusted to create a window for opponents to react. These are great. All my homies hate Snipe Shot and Teleon. And then last but not least, we got Hoopa. Time remaining until the second use. For Phantom Force, 5 seconds to 3.5 seconds. The strategy of using Trick on a high mobility Pokemon, then returning with Phantom Force, repeating ambushes and escapes was powerful and extremely difficult to deal with. Shortening the time until the second use of Phantom Force is possible, the effective range of this strategy has been narrowed. Good balance changes. I do agree with these. And then really quickly, yeah, this is what I wanted to find. A bug where Duraludon's Stealth Ball cannot be activated if it was upgraded while the move has 0 charges. So that's what was happening, and I didn't realize I was doing that. But that happened to me like in 3 separate games, and it was very annoying. Fix the bug with a collection for, yeah, Crustl's Rock Tomb would disappear. Finally fixed it. Okay. Awesome. Okay, we made it through it. So, this patch is again coming out tomorrow. I believe this is UTC, and I believe that's saying 7 a.m. So by the time you may wake up tomorrow morning, it'll be out. So, one more day left, but we just played the Clefable game. Do you think a 0.5 second cooldown increase makes this damage go down, like, significantly? Like, I think the Decidueye still gets 270,000 damage that game. Pre-nerf or post-nerf Clefable. Just saying. I'm just saying.